So today we're obviously talking about the coronavirus, and just disclaimer, we're not medical professionals. We're just optimists who want to help out people who might be feeling stressed out or anxious right now. So let's welcome Don A to the podcast.
Hello there.
So Don A, what are steps that you think people can take to participate in their communities right now?
In the communities right now, one of the first steps people can make is just honestly just taking precaution. Like basically making sure we're safe and we're healthy, those of us who are, for the sake of others. I mean, for the sake of our families, for the sake of the people who, may not have stronger immune systems, elderly, or whatever. Like just first of all, taking care of our own health and, making sure we're, you know, staying clean, not spreading germs, things of that nature. Just basically taking accountability. And also, staying home as much as possible. Now, I understand if we got to go out to the store, you want to step outside, go for a walk to clear your head. I mean, that's fine. That's okay. It's not like they said we can't do any of that stuff, but stay at home as much as possible. Um, I think the more we stay at home, the quicker this can all, we can prevent things from spreading. But, I'm no professional, so I don't really know. But I'm just saying, take this time to like chill out and relax. Like, just chill out and relax. Like,
Yeah.
Get to work on yourself during this time, because that's honestly, like, I've been having a lot of time to just sit lately and really reflect. And I'm kind of at peace right now because I'm able to really work on myself, see how I can push myself further in the future, because this will pass. That's what we must know first. Like, this will pass. But I think we can just take our part by, working on ourselves during this time and not being selfish at all. Like me, I feel like in my heart, like I'm good, but I don't want to be selfish and reckless out of the respect of others because I care about people. So again, that's holding myself accountable. You see what I'm saying? If I'm out and someone wants to talk, like I talk, I still go out, get in conversations, talk to people, but I'm not all in people's faces and in groups and crowds of people. Like, yeah, we're supposed to be practicing social distancing while, which I have to. I'm out daily doing, Instacart and certain stuff like that, essential businesses. So yeah, I am out and about, but I'm being very mindful and careful of being in people's face during this time. But just holding ourselves accountable, I think that's how we can help as a community as a whole, because honestly, that's where it starts. We can't control others.
Yeah. I think just to add to that, so as far as how we can participate in the community, there's lots of elderly people right now who, like you're saying, Instacart, who can't necessarily, or they don't feel comfortable going out to buy their own groceries right now. Yes. And we should be mindful of those people and offer our services, our help.
Absolutely. And that kind of doing deliveries the other day, that kind of spoke to me, because I dropped off some groceries to some elderly people who actually can't even leave the house. One is on an oxygen tank. So, just being mindful of that. If you have grandparents or aunties or uncles or even neighbors that that are elderly, check on them. If they don't have grandkids, anybody, check on them and see if they need anything. Like I come by my grandparents' house every day because they're used to going out on a daily basis, running errands, going to the grocery store, going to the post office. So I'm running those errands for them. Like essentially they need things, they run out of things. So, just making sure your folks are okay. And if you are out and about, being mindful when you come to their house, take off your shoes. Germs and stuff spread, viruses spread. So take off your shoes, make sure you wash your hands. Take off your shirt if you can, and you have an undershirt or whatever. Change, just kind of switch it up, go in there and be mindful, not being all in their face if you just came from outdoors running an errand for them. So, I just think it's pretty much being aware. I think it starts with self-awareness, being aware, and I think that would help a lot if we can just become aware.
I just to add to that, I've been going on walks, around the community and stuff like that. And I feel like ever since the coronavirus has gotten more serious, a lot of people nowadays are just not as friendly as they were before.
Yeah.
And
People
I
are scared to
feel,
talk.
yeah, and I believe that even if times, are more challenging right now, it is still a great idea to be kind, to say
Be kind.
hello, say hi, have a great day. Just because there's a coronavirus going around doesn't mean you can't say hi to someone walking across the street.
Absolutely. And that's why people, that's why, and that's why, that's basically, you're being like a light worker. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you're going out, by you going out, going for a walk and speaking to people and still being kind, you're spreading light and love and positivity. So that's awesome that, people like you and people like me, we know that. And I think I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's awesome to share. I just, over the past week, just being out, I speak to people, and like you say, people are more scared to speak and acting a little weird, and I get it. I understand. But there have been people I've spoken to, and they speak back, and the conversation that we have, or just the interaction that we have, it charges each other up. It speaks life into each other,
Yeah.
and it's that energy that we need. Like, we need to still be out being kind to people, spreading love to people, just saying hi. Hey, encouraging people, because that's what people look for in this time of need. In this time of need, people don't need our expertise. They don't need our knowledge. They don't need our conspiracy theories. All of that can be true. It can be fine, but people don't need that in these times. I think people need love. People need kindness. You have to speak life into people and let them know that it's going to be all right. And focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. I was just reading something from an actual doctor this morning, that there are over 160,000 survivors in the United States and over 700,000 worldwide. So just imagine if the whole world, the media, of course the media is not going to do it, but imagine if the whole world, we just focus on the people who are surviving. That will change perspective, and we'll look more hopeful. So now, in hopes, the energy is focused on the people who are surviving. We can heal faster as people. But if we're focusing on the fear, the negativity, the people who are dying, which is sad, but if we focus on that, we start operating in fear. How are we going to heal? We can't heal with fear. You see what I'm saying? So I just think people just need to calm down and focus on, the things that we can control, because we can't control everything that's going on in the media, the government. That's out of our control. So I think we just need to focus on controlling ourselves and controlling our emotions, and that way we can be in a better state of mind. We cannot think in panic and fear.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up about living in panic and fear. When I think it's smart to be cautious, of course, self-aware, and practice, social distancing,
Absolutely.
all of that stuff. But you don't have to be fearful about it. You can be
Exactly.
smart about it and not fearful. I
Exactly.
think also it's a good point to mention that stress, fear, anxiety, that is what actually will make you more sick, because it
Exactly.
activates the viruses on your nerves. The best thing that you can do right now is to be calm. In whatever way that helps you be calm, that's a better thing to practice than living in fear.
That's true. That's true, because, like you say, under fear, depression, sadness, all these different negative emotions, it's scientific and medical proof that our body doesn't operate, correctly. We can't. Our immune system is weak, and our body is weak when we're living, when we're in fear. 85% to 95% of diseases caused by, from stress, actually. So we want to be at a place to where we're calm and thinking positive, and just enjoy this time. Take this time to really get to know yourself and work on yourself. Practice things you haven't got a chance to do because you've been working or whatever. You like drawing, coloring when you was a kid. Do that. Bring out the creative side. Spend time with your family. Reach out to the people who you don't get a chance to talk to often. Human interaction is very important, and like that goes back to saying,
Yeah.
yes, when you're out, be smart. Don't I'm not taking this situation lightly, because the virus is very real. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but I know people personally that's been affected by it. I know people personally that has it. You see what I'm saying? People. So is very real. So I'm not taking that lightly. So yes, like you say, practice social distancing, respect people's space, take care of yourself, be aware, but we don't have to live in fear. We can still speak to people in passing. We can still, if a person don't want to speak, they have on a mass wave. Hey, how you doing? Give them a head nod. Spread some type of love, and I think that's very important.
Totally, definitely. Just to add to that, human connection right now, we're all going through the same common denominator, and not just in California or United States, but actually the whole world.
Oh,
So
well.
it's very interesting to think about that, and we have to understand where we're all coming from. If if you see someone who is scared, don't judge them for it. Don't judge someone for self-isolating themselves. They're just handling it in the way that they know how to. So again, just be kind to them.
Absolutely. It makes a whole lot of sense. Like I say, yeah, we don't want to make fun of anybody. Some people, like if they live in fear, or some people they just take extra precaution or whatever they feel they need to do. Um, just understand we all deal with things differently. If we know, a lot of us who know certain things or might be consider ourselves a little more aware, we have to realize that everybody doesn't have the same awareness, as everybody's not on the same wave of thinking. So at the end of the day, some people just don't know. They don't know what to do in these situations. Not saying that any of us do. Evidently none of us was prepared for this. But the thing is, we can't make fun of people for how they react to things, how they react
Yeah,
to things. It can be out of fear, it can be out of anything, it can be out of just whatever. But just because we're not fearing, or just because we might know that they feel everything's going to be okay, everybody doesn't have that same level of faith. So you just got to love people where they at. And these times, it goes back to saying people just need love, they need life to speak. Some people just want to know, is things going to be all right? You just tell somebody with confidence, like, hey, we're going to see this through, everything's going to be all right, relax. And that alone can calm a person down. Just that simple, instead of just making fun of them, like, oh, why are you doing all this? Why are you doing all that?
yeah.
That's actually fear in itself. You see what I'm saying? Like,
We
so
don't need that energy.
yeah.
Yeah. So right now, what do you think are a few actions that people can take to help themselves feel better?
Um, well, one is I would say definitely take care of your health. This is a time where we should be definitely keeping our immune system boosted. Lots of vitamin C, immunity packs. Echinacea is really good to take. Um, just really keeping our immune system and our health that way, so we can feel better. Stay active, even if you're in a house. I mean, some of us have backyards and front yards that we can go in and go outside and exercise, get a little bit of sun. But even if you don't have a front yard or backyard, or if you in a region or climate where it's cold right now, stay active in a house. Do some in-home exercises. Read, draw, write things out, plan. Start writing down some goals, some things you want to do when this is all said and done, and start working on them now since you have time. Go online, look up some stuff you always wanted to look up. You always wanted to, if you wanted to go into a trade or opportunity or whatever, go and research that. Do research. Just keep yourself busy and try to unplug from social media and the media as much as possible. Because if we stay plugged into social media and the media all day, oh my, it will be the end of the world. We'll continue to focus on that, and that can create fear. So I say unplug from that, because it's constant. It's all day. You're hearing the same news over and over and over and over and over. You have to unplug from that noise, so that way you can have a clear conscience and just think. You know what I mean? Just be still for a minute and be quiet and think. It's the perfect time. Like everything, the whole world is on pause right now. So it's no need to be anxious. Just sit back and relax and think. Use your mind. Start writing out stuff or whatever, but utilize this time. Spend time with family. You know what I mean? Like call people, check on people. Just
Yeah,
start reading.
yeah, totally. I love how the first thing you brought up was to take care of your health, because it is so important to prioritize yourself, especially during times that are challenging, because when you take care of yourself, then you can take care of others better.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
also like to add that health is also mental health. Mental health is very important because even if we are eating healthy or exercising, which exercise does release stress, so that helps with your mental health. But you know, if we're stressing or suffering from depression, again, it doesn't matter how healthy we eat. Um, we have to have our mind. We have to have good mental health as well. So taking care of our health holistically, I should have added. You know what I mean? Working out, eating well, making sure we holding our thoughts captive. Wake up in the morning, start speaking affirmations to yourself. You know what I mean? Start speaking affirmations to yourself. That way, when those lies creep in your head, that depression, that negativity, that doubt, that fear, you can combat that. Combat that. So, I mean, we got to really keep our mental health up as well during these times because our sanity is pretty much all we have. So I just think it's very imperative to just stay healthy holistically and do things that actually release because it's a lot of times it's what we hold in. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Breathe. Wake up in the morning and breathe. Like take deep breaths, stretch. That'll make you feel better. You know?
Hmm. Lately, I've been starting the days off by going for a walk
That's
and
all.
trying to get some fresh air and start my day off with a good mindset. And I think that that impacts the way that the rest of my day actually goes. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's worth mentioning the law of attraction, how when what you think, the energy that you think will manifest.
Absolutely.
If you start your day off positively, you're likely going to manifest a much more positive day. And like, let's just give an example. Let's say someone has a really bad 10 minutes of their day, they got a really bad fight, something like that. They drive to
Mm-hmm.
work and get a flat tire. They go and then they finally get to work and they run into some problems with a coworker. And just everything just adds up and it just that 10 minutes of their day that was so negative turned into just a whole entire bad day. Instead of
Absolutely.
instead of letting that 10 minutes turn your whole day upside down, take that time to analyze how you're feeling and how you want to move forward, and then
Absolutely.
and then breathe and contemplate it and let that energy flow and not let it stagnate and turn your whole entire day upside down.
Absolutely, because it's all a choice. You have a choice to say when you first got that flat tire, oh man, I'm having a bad day. Now you put yourself in a bad mood, so all that energy you carry is going to be negative. But if you say, you know what, my tire caught a flat, things happen. Let me go ahead and fix it and go to work. No worries, it's not a big deal because it's really not a big deal, honestly. And I think that changes the course of your day. I was told that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So if we switch our perspectives on things like instead of playing the victim mentality and event and what's the word I'm looking for? Just playing a victim mentality. If we not playing a victim mentality and we focus on more so like, okay, this is just something that happened, then I think we'll be in a much better place.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And that goes universally for any situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we touched on this a little bit, but I just really want to clarify for listeners, what kind of mindset do you advise that people should have during this time?
What kind of mindset? I think a very positive mindset, and I think honestly for me, it's a calmness, and because I and this may sound a little cliche, but I put all my faith in God. You know what I mean? The Most High. I put all my faith in God, and I put God first. And seeing that helps me say, okay, I know at the end of the day, like I'm gonna be okay regardless. Whatever happens, I'm at peace with that because things are out of my control. So me believing in something higher than me helps me move with humility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It
definitely.
helps me to know that like I am not the guy because if it was up to me and my decisions, I would probably be living in fear and all that other stuff and just so it's not up to me. So my mindset behind that is like, okay, I just have to let go. let go of everything. And that's the reason why I'm able to have a positive and calm mindset, because as humans, we want to be in control of everything. And this virus, this pandemic, or whatever that's going on right now is something that we can't control, you see? So now that we can't control, we're being controlled. You know what I mean? Whether it's by the government, whether it's by what's going on with this virus, whether it's about any having to stay in a house. So now as humans, like, we're not in control. So that should be a wake-up call right there in itself. So we just have to learn to just let things go. And I'm not saying be ignorant and passive to things, but I mean let things go in the fact, like, let me only control what I can control, and that's my emotions. I can control my emotions, and I can have a positive mindset, and that will help me be in a place to where I can be better for myself and help others as well. Because when people see me calm, they like, okay, how come you so calm? And then I can tell them my testimony on why I'm so calm, and then it helps them be calm. And they like, wow, I never looked at it like that. You see what I'm saying? So I really feel like at this time, it's imperative not to panic and freak out, and just really wake up every day blessed that we are still here. Wake up blessed every day that we're still here. Know that this is something that will pass. It's a virus. Like, we will have casualties, and pray for those people. You know, pray for those people and focus on healing. You know what I'm saying? Focus on healing and focus on the positive. And really, I don't think we can do that plugging into the news and the media so much. So I think during this time, it goes back to people needing to unplug from the media and plug into the essence of what being a human is about, and that's human interaction. You know what I mean? Like, interact with your family, your kids. You know, like, get on virtual call and talk to people. Stay in contact with people. Like, get online with somebody and laugh. Like, contact all your friends. Ain't nobody else doing nothing. We all at home. You know what I'm saying? We all at home. We can connect with each other more than we ever been able to connect. We can get in touch with people more than we ever been able to get in touch with people. Don't isolate yourself. You know, isolation doesn't mean like, okay, I'm going to go in the house and lock the doors and not talk to anybody. You can get on the phone with people. You can get on FaceTime with people. You can do whatever. You can get on Zoom and talk to numerous amount of people at once. However you want to do that, you know, take this time to stay connected to people, because we have right now. We all we got. And if we just isolate ourselves, then that allows time for the enemy to go to work on our mind. Now we thinking all these negative thoughts, terror, and it's just the end of the world, and we freaking out, and that doesn't help anything. That makes things 10 times worse.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking about it, and you know how we mentioned like working like gold plating and stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
What messages do you might have for people to bounce back once this has passed?
Okay, I mean, honestly, I say educate yourselves right now. Now is the time more than ever to educate yourself on the economy and where it's going. Information age business models. If you look at everything that's online, if you look at the services, the essential services, like right now, I'm still able to go out and make money doing Instacart or, you know, Postmates, DoorDash, stuff like that. Now, those are pretty much information age business models. If you can find services and stuff like that, or things to do online, or just be creative, pay attention to the trends, you can set yourself up to win coming out of this. You see what I'm saying? And I really think it's important to really study that and pay attention to that, look into that. Or any ideas you ever had, any vision you ever had, any business plan you ever had, any goals you ever had. Write those down right now and start looking up ways on how you can execute those. Utilize this time to set yourself up in a position to win when we come out of this. Because the truth is that even right now, like, businesses are closing indefinitely. Some of these businesses don't know if they'll be able to open up. There are going to be a lot more people jobless after this is over. And the way things are changing, a lot of employees are not going to be needed for a lot of services that they once was needed for, you know? So this is the time where people need to start like creating and devising a plan. How am I going to stay afloat? You know, provide an essential service, become productive as a community, become productive to the world. And that way you will be needed, you know, because people need services. Like, we need each other. So I really think this is a time where people need to start working together with ideas and focusing on ways to create their own economy, whatever, or however that looks for you. Or even if it's just something simple, it doesn't have to be nothing too deep or anything, but you might want to pay attention to that. You might want to start like saving your money now, like seeing how you can save your money. We're not spending on food and unnecessary things right now. So start like doing budgets. So when you come out of here, you're like, okay, I have this amount of dollars. Let me start budgeting my money wisely, because I know that, things are about to squeeze. So I think really right now it's about positioning yourself and being open-minded, because there are going to be a lot of new businesses and opportunities that come out of this. The old way of doing things is about to be over. Like, companies are crumbling. This world is changing. Whether we know it or not, when we come off of this lockdown, things are not going to be operating different. I mean, the same, and they're not going to even. It's going to be a slow process, because it's going to take a while for a lot of people to start coming back out. It's going to take a while for businesses to start back building. And I think a lot of new opportunities are going to rise from this, and people need to be open-minded to new way of doing things.
I think open-minded and able to let go of the past, because when
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
Sometimes in life things happen where something that was very comfortable at one time, and you knew that that was a constant source of supply for you, it will not always be that way. And that could be the case for many people right now. So it's very wise to detach from that, whatever that is, that past, and be able to move forward. Because attaching too long to the past, this isn't fair, stuff like that will only hold you back more.
Yep. Everything has been moved around right now, and you got to be able to pretty much, you got to be able to change with the times. You have to be able to change with the times. And a lot of times, not being able to make that change can be very harmful. It can be very harmful, because you end up getting left behind. And yeah.
Yeah. So let's just recap really quick. What are like the main messages that you really just want to really emphasize to listeners?
The main message I want to emphasize to listeners is really to be calm during this time, and be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and really just take this time to really seek God, whatever it is whatever you believe in. For me, but just get to know yourself. Get to know yourself during this time. And to become closer with your family, really draw close to God and draw close to family. Those are two things I can say. And I'm not saying that out of fear. I'm saying that out of love. Like, love people, work on that. Love people. Speak light into people. You speak light into yourself. I really want people during this time to not focus on the fear, but focus on, because the only way we go get through this together is we have to really love each other. I mean, we have to really move as a community and help each other. We got to realize, like, no matter what differences we have, like, it just all the hate and negativity and everything that's going on in the world right now. If you just think about it, right now there's a common enemy, and that's this virus that's taking people out that we can't do anything about. A microscopic virus that we can't even see can take out us so-called intelligent beings who are just all this in a bag of chips, and just the smallest virus can take us out. That should be a wake-up call right there. This is a humbling experience nonetheless right now. This should be a humbling experience for everybody in every aspect. In your spiritual walk, this should be a humbling experience just work-wise, because we see like almost the country can operate on its own, with essential businesses. A lot of things are going to change. So this should just be a humbling experience for everybody, and I think if we can get rid of our ego and our carelessness, I think that we can really come out of this on top. I honestly do. I think that we can. If we get out of our carelessness and our ego, I think we can come out of this on top, because it's not all about us, it's about others. And if we can take our eyes off ourselves and put our eyes on others, and sometimes we have to think for others and care for others. And I think if we really get to that point as humans, all of humanity can work on one accord.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we work on one accord, that's beautiful music.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, Don A, for sharing these messages with listeners. I'm very sure that it'll help someone out there.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.